I always used to say, I think I said this before, but for sure after, like, you have to fall in love with the mundane.
Yeah.
And that's a parenting principle across the board, because a lot of people come out of the boardroom and they go home and, and then they're taking care of kids. You're like, nobody notices. Nobody notices all the great things you're doing. And yet it's the most important job in the world.
That's right.
Because we're creating the next generation. And so what we model for them is so important. And then you have to do all this other adult stuff. But what do you bring home? And how do you communicate? And do you get down on their level and allow it to be something that they can relate to? And it is a tough one.
You know what I think about all the time is like, I think I didn't get this when I was younger, is I didn't not get it, but I didn't get what I'm about to walk through, is I didn't look at my parents and be like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult. Like, that's cool. Like that. But I didn't get like, oh, adulting sucks. I didn't get that.
Right.
But so I got something kind of weird in the middle, which I'm not sure exactly what it was. But so I think about it with my son is like, I want him to think about as he gets older, like it keeps getting better.
Yeah.
Right? Like a glass of wine or something, like it just keeps getting better. And so I think that's running in my back, like a narrative in my background a bunch. Because, what am I modeling? Right.
Oh, so true. And it's like for them to see to see their parents passionate about something.
That's right.
I think that's huge.
And as small as like in the morning when we wake up, his wake up is 6:45. Mm-hmm. And so lucky that he's not a surfer or swimmer.
Totally.
Those days are done for me. Yeah. So is 6:45 wake up, and usually first thing is like a nice little moment, and then music is on.
Yeah.
Right? And so like it just changes the environment. There's a little bit of upbeat to it. And so that's all thoughtful, if you will.
I love that you use that. I used when my like 13, 14 is like it's an interesting age.
Yeah.
And they'll retreat to their rooms, and I learned to turn on, my daughter was a Hamilton fanatic.
Ditto.
Flip on the Hamilton, and so all funny. Of a sudden she would come out. Yeah. I was like, all right. I'm on to something here,
right. Music works for all of us.
It does. Yeah. In fact, I had it going before you walked in here, and I was like, you guys, I listen to music almost all the time. If I'm not listening to podcasts. Yeah. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, you probably need to quiet it down. But I've learned so much just, from like frequencies and focus, and there's so many different ways that music influences our brain, and I use that one a lot.
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. It's a cool
one. So
one.
like, and that kind of shapes this idea, like, yeah, it's good to get going. And you see your parents kind of bopping around a little bit instead of like, we are in an energy crisis right now, a human energy crisis. And so I don't want to model low energy. I also don't want to model like some sort of silly, non-tangible, fake buoyancy.